welcome to Buzzing with Cousin Johnny here. I'm at beautiful Carmel Valley. I'm at Chesebro tasting room with my friend Alex Lallos. Alex, how you doing today?
How you doing, Johnny? Happy to be here, man. It's been 4 months since we've been planning this. Happy to finally do it.
This is great. We got a beautiful sunny day, and it's going to be fun. So, Alex, where are you from? And are you from Monterey?
You know, Johnny, I'm from right here in Carmel Valley. I grew up in Carmel Valley. I went to Carmel High School.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is hometown for me. So after a few stints elsewhere, I went to college and worked a few other cities and came back here in about 2013.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been in the wine business?
I've been in the wine business since I graduated from college in way back when in 2004. I actually started off working at Heller Estate Tasting Room, which was the former Durney Tasting Room, and which is now called Masa. Anyway, I worked there because one of my good friends, shout out to Ben Edwards, was working there, and he kind of got me into it, and I started working the tasting room and having a good time and the whole 9 yards. At the same time, I was working with a friend of mine, Mike Jones, who my first job ever was catering for a movable feast catering. And Mike was armed with an artillery of amazing wines, and I was working with him at the Kashawa General Store as the wine director, we'll call it, even though it was something a little bit more unique than that. And it got me into fine wine. I started working in Oakland, California for an importer and retailer, which then became the largest importer of Bordeaux futures, called J.J. Buckley. And I've been with Mark Chesebro here at Chesebro Winery since 2014.
Oh, man, that's great. Mm-hmm. So can you give us like a little summary of Chesebro? Where are they from the valley, or where are they?
Yeah, so the Chesebro family has been here in Carmel Valley for about 20 years now. Mark Chesebro, well, maybe a little bit more, actually 30. Yeah. Mark has been in the wine industry for that whole 30 years. Mark was formerly the winemaker over at Bernardus Winery, our neighbor, for about a decade there. So Mark's had a good foundation in winemaking. He established this label here, his family label, in 2003. And I see him coming through the door right now. Should we pause? Okay, yeah. So in 2003, established our own family label with the idea to make wines accessible for everyone on a nightly basis at an affordable price.
And where's the winery located?
The winery is located here in Carmel Valley off Tassajara Road. Hi, Mark.
Hey.
Mark Chesebro's here now. Yeah, so the winemakers want.
Good. Yourself?
Great.
So located here in Carmel Valley, right off Tassajara Road, and we make just a couple thousand cases of wine each year.
That's one of the best.
Ooh, here we go.
Royal Seco.
Yeah, so Arroyo Seco, we have a 55-acre vineyard called Cedar Lane Vineyard.
Lenora.
Okay, gotcha.
This is for Will. He'll be here shortly.
Oh, perfect.
He's doing a drop at KNL.
Oh. Let me know what you get.
Thanks, Mark.
Let's hope it turns out. We'll see you later.
Okay, see you, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
All right. Sorry for the interruption
No
there.
interruption. We had a guest, the owner and winemaker, Mark Chesebro.
Yeah. So Mark has,
Thank you, Mark.
yeah, like I was saying, Mark has 55 acres down in the Arroyo Seco. So it's called Cedar Lane Vineyard. You might see that on a few of the labels here in Carmel Valley or Monterey. We sell fruit to a lot of different producers. So what we make, we probably only make about 2% into our own wines. Okay. The rest gets sold to other producers.
I noticed that a lot of the Carmel Valley Sauvignon Blancs are from Chesebro.
Yeah, from Cedar Lane. Yeah, you'll find a lot of Sauvignon. In fact, Arroyo Seco in general is really well known for Sauvignon Blanc. You have Jay Lohr down there farming a lot of acreage. Michael Grieva farms a lot of acreage down there, predominantly the Sauvignon Blanc, which I find to be the region's best growing variety is Sauvignon Blanc. The soils are super well drained. You get wines that are really expressive, especially these whites that have tension to them. Where everyone thinks Arroyo Seco is very, very warm. It's not as warm as you might anticipate. Okay. It gets up to 90 degrees or so in the afternoon in the heat of the day, but at about 3 o'clock, you're coming back down to the 70s and high 60s even in the nighttime. So the wines have good tension, especially the whites. So.
Now, I noticed, Alex, you've chosen, you have more than those 5 wines, but you chose 5 to showcase 5 wines that we were talking about. And go ahead.
Yeah, so we make a wide array of wines. In fact, we make about 13 different labels. We grow about 9 different varietals, including among those are Albarino, which is a variety most commonly found in Galicia in Spain, also getting very popular here in the United States, and a wine called Vermentino, which is a white wine predominantly grown in Corsica, also Sardinia, Sicily, throughout central and southern Italy. You find it a little bit in France, very much a Mediterranean style white. So although we do grow Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay also, we've become known for these kind of cool aromatic whites. Bone dry, their trademark is minerality and freshness. So the Albarino, I guess we'll start there actually, it's probably the lightest of the wines. Albarino is really fruit driven. You find always a lot of stone fruit. This particular version was just rated 91 points by the Wine Enthusiast. You don't see a whole lot of Albarino.
No, you don't.
No, but it's becoming more and more popular. So you see a little bit down there in Paso Robles. You see some in Santa Barbara as well. And of course here in Monterey County. If you see Albarino from another producer here in Monterey County, there's a really good chance it was grown by us at Cedar Lane Vineyard. There's only a couple other vineyards that actually grow the variety. So it's really fresh, really bright, aromatically, it's just brilliant. It's perfectly suited for springtime and summer weather. It's one of those varieties that as it gets warmer outside, you can really picture yourself just by the pool or at the beach even. I see a lot of people take it to the beach and have fun. Yeah, well, it's a wine also made for drinking with nothing. You don't have to pair it with something. Of course, it pairs beautifully with food because it is so light and mineral driven. It goes well with nothing at all. The price on that is whopping $25. So all of Mark Chesebro's wines are super well priced. Yeah, and the idea is to get them into people's hands. They could drink them every night. Our main business is actually selling grapes. Winemaking is something that Mark and his son Will are just into. They pretty much bleed this stuff, so there's no chance that we wouldn't make wines. And the varieties and the versions that we make are among the best of these of which I've tasted. So.
Now I want to tell all the listeners out there, Monterey County, we got some nice Sauvignon Blancs, Chardonnay, but if you're right in the mood to try something different, come into Chesebro and give it a shot. Try the Vermentino and what was the other one?
Albarino.
And the Albarino.
Yeah.
Give those varietals a chance. I mean, they are really delicious.
Yeah, and if you like Chardonnay or Sauvignon Blanc, I highly recommend both. Our Sauvignon Blanc was also just rated 92 points.
Delicious.
Yeah, but I would not steer away from either of these two. Our wine club, we have a really big wine club because our prices are really good. A lot of people in our wine club are members just for basically these two white wines because they're so different and so aromatic and fun. So moving on to a couple reds, I would be remiss to remark about reds in Monterey County without first mentioning Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir.
It of course is the
Flagship of Monterey County.
big time. Yeah, the climate is really conducive to growing Pinot Noir, a light-skinned grape. The idea is that you have fairly warm afternoons, and then you get that really cool breeze that comes down the Salinas Valley at about noon all the way through 3 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and keeps everything tensile. So you get Pinots with a lot of freshness. They don't have to be heavily extracted and dark and deep, but they have this robust, complex array of colors and aromas and aromatics that you just don't find elsewhere. Pinot Noir, ours is made in the Burgundian style, so it ages in oak for about a year and a half, but it's very light in color. It's really refreshing, if you will, in a climate where a lot of Pinot almost acts like Chardonnay.
There was a lot of cherry flavor.
Yeah, a lot of bright cherry, a lot of raspberry and cola. A lot of the Pinots from this part of Monterey County tend to be deep extracted wines, almost laying on to like the Syrah type version of things. Ours is just really light, really beautiful. And there's always a kaleidoscope of aromas and flavors that you get out of Pinot Noir. This one's no different. And it clocks in at $23, which finding a Pinot Noir for $23 that's not made in a factory in 10, 20,000 cases at a time is pretty difficult. We only make 200 cases of that wine. It's $23, yeah. Moving on in the reds here, we also make at our home ranch, which is here in Carmel Valley, where Mark Chesebro, co-winemaker Will Chesebro, and their family's ranch here off Tasahara Road. We have a 2.5 acre vineyard there, really small vineyard. different soil type. At Arroyo Seco, you have these really sandy soils called Arroyo Seco loam. Up here in Carmel Valley, you have more shale, and it's a really unique place to grow wine. There's not, Carmel Valley, people think of Carmel Valley wineries, there's only a couple hundred acres planted to the entire Carmel Valley, whereas in Salinas Valley, you have thousands of acres planted to grapes. Carmel Valley is only a couple hundred acres. The Chesebros have 2.5 acres. So all the vineyards up here in Carmel Valley are tucked away into the mountains and the hillsides, and they're pretty rugged, and pretty hot too. When Arroyo Seco is 80 or 85 degrees, our vineyard in Tasajara is 95 or 100 because it's protected by big mountains all the way around, so the coastal breeze never gets back there, which makes it ideally suited for growing the heavier red varieties, Grenache, Syrah, Mourvèdre, etc. We do also grow white there. We grow Roussanne, which is the very late ripening white variety, also known from the Rhone Valley. But the one I want to highlight today is called La Montagne Sauvage. La Montagne Sauvage literally from French translates to wild or savage mountain, which that vineyard really much is, 1,800 feet above sea level. It's wild in every way. It abuts against nature all around. So it's not a garden. It's really a wild vineyard and a beautiful site, and one perfectly suited for growing heavy red wines.
My experience, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it is. It has been. It has been for a long time.
I like that big berry.
Yeah,
taste.
yeah, big time. And it's this. So whereas the Pinot is so light and fresh, La Montagne Sauvage is robust, broad-shouldered. That site in Carmel Valley lends itself to very age-worthy wines. So this is a 2014 that I'm showing today. So that's 9 years old, and it still tastes like a baby. You know, it hasn't even shed its baby fat.
You listeners out there.
Yeah, big time. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, it's our flagship wine too. So this is from our estate vineyard. It's a blend of Syrah and Grenache. A little teeny bit of Mourvèdre goes in there as well to tighten things up a little bit. But the Syrah provides the gaminess and the power. The Grenache provides a little bit more of the fruitiness and the elegance to it. So all in all, it's a wine that'll age really well. Johnny and I together have had 2008 La Montagne Sauvage, which is still drinking beautifully to this day.
You still have a couple left.
Still got a couple left, yeah. We don't really sell too much of it, but we stash it away for the special people. The other one we're going to talk about today is something that Johnny, I wasn't planning on doing this, but Johnny asked me to. The cider. So this is a Basque-style cider. Clocks in at about 8.5% alcohol, so twice as much as a beer, maybe not quite half as much as a little bit more than half as much as a wine would. So it's lightly effervescent, it's conditioned in bottle just like you would champagne kind of. The idea behind this was co-winemaker Will Chesebro had spent a lot of time in Basque country around San Sebastian, Bilbao, those places, and he got really familiar. That's an area of Spain, people always consider Spain a Mediterranean country, which it is, but there's a whole lot of Spain that's sitting on the Atlantic Ocean and it's not all that warm actually. So you don't grow grapes there, you grow apples, so you get cider. So in Basque country you have ciderillas, which produce a lightly effervescent, low to medium alcohol cider, which is bone dry. It's not Angry Orchard, it's not a pub cider, it's one of these ciders that is cloudy, lightly effervescent, like I said, a little bit rustic for sure, but it reminds you of ciders that you might find in Normandy, maybe the south of England.
Like champagne,
very much,
it's
yeah.
not a prominent apple taste.
No, it's more,
Subtle.
it's very subtle. Yeah.
So this is enjoyable.
Yeah, we like it, and we only make 100 or so cases of it every year. We grow apples on the ranch specifically for this purpose. And they're small, little teeny apples that normally you wouldn't eat, but they're suited to making alcohol. And then we augment that with a little bit of fruit, apples from Martinelli Farms in Watsonville to make that. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
Alex, I see, looks like I saw a bus going by. Looks like you're going to be busy here in a little
Yeah, we hope
a
so.
little while. So I want to just say a couple more things before I let you go. Now, this is actually a tasting room gallery because I'm going to go around. I'm going to show some video of it is an art here. You feature Monterey County artists, and you have their work all over the tasting room, which
We
is
do.
really great. So it's a gallery.
Yeah.
along with the tasting room.
That's kind of the most fun part about it. It's combining art and wine in the same place. Caroline Mitchell, which is Mark Chesebro, the winemaker's wife,
Yes.
she's curated among friends and all local artists a gallery that we're really proud of. We have artist Jerry Takagawa, who also designed our label, his wife Pamela Takagawa. This month we actually have the Monterey Bay Plein Air Painters Association, 35 different artists, 35 different paintings. And so that's some of which are watercolor, some are acrylic, some oils.
I'm attracted.
Oh, you see yours?
It's up here, no.
Oh, of course you are, yeah.
Like
Monterey, yeah.
Monterey.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, being son of a Monterey fisherman.
Yep, exactly.
Anytime I see a pier or Monterey pier or boats, I'm attracted to that, and there's a couple of them.
Yeah, there are a couple. That's a pretty decent subject matter for a lot of these plein air painters.
An art opening, and then the art stays up for a month or so.
Couple months usually, and then we rotate it out.
That's really great, and people come in and have a little bite to eat, have wine.
Exactly.
Check out the art.
Yeah, and we have a couple. We have Erin Hunter, who's also featured at the Monterey Natural History Museum.
Nice.
She has a lot of original pieces in there. We have some pottery.
What's your hours? When can we come?
Yeah, so we're here Thursday through Sunday, noon through 5 p.m. We're not open Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, so drop by on the weekend. Come give us a shout. Tell us you saw us on Buzzing with Cousin, and we'd be happy to have you.
Okay, so Alex, I really appreciate you coming on and showcasing this great wines of Chesebro. So we appreciate it, and thank you so much, and we're looking forward to coming.
You got it, cousin. Great to be here, buddy.
Bye, Alex.
All right, thanks, guys.